All right, what is up, YouTube? Welcome to the stream. A little bit early today, but that's good. That means I got free earlier, which means I can go to bed earlier and I can get more work done. So right now we're just prepping some boxes to throw some amps and stuff in here. Then we got to make some Android harnesses, and then we got to make these plug and play amps. Boom, 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 boom. I was distracted watching some Dragon Ball. Where's my oh, it doesn't tell me if anybody's watching it. I don't know. Join. Oh, I was gonna look up how to make the YouTube chat appear in the live, because there's some people that may not know that there's a chat going on. Let me see if I can figure that out real quick. Show YouTube live chat. Oh yes, look, of course I'm already. There we go. Let me just mute this so you can hear it. Oh, this guy's going full-fledged. Yes, sir, I would show you. 1 second. Okay. So, pop this out. How do I do that? I like this. Let's go, baby. Okay. Then it says to add a source and do display capture device. Oh, sorry. 1 sec. Just doing something real quick. Capture Mac OS screen capture. Okay. YouTube chat. Okay. And then window capture. And then I want OBS chat. Let's go. Okay, let's go, guys. And then I'm just gonna scale this down and leave this. Oh damn, that's too small though. Alright, you know what? We'll leave it up here. We'll change my camera to down here. And then that's how we'll do it. So in this way, people can see the latest messages in the chat. Anything new for 09 TSX? What do you mean by new? There's a lot of stuff you may not have seen. So I don't know what's new to you. And are you talking speakers, radios? What are we talking? Yeah, no problem, man. What Jay Moore is referring to, good evening, is the TSX. Earlier, the launch stream was a little erratic, but we showed the different Android screens for the TSX, or the Euro Honda Accord as well. And that's there's like the Mercedes type screen. Then there's the screen that replaces the radio that I don't recommend. If you're wondering why I'm just making boxes, I have to go get a bunch of amps, but I just want to make the boxes first, so I have something to put them in. I'm finally starting to catch up with orders. We're still very behind, like 3 days behind, but that's not that bad considering the weekend. But yeah, man, some people have been waiting a little bit too long for their stuff. Last box. Oh, factory speakers, JBL. Oh, wait, no. Is your TSX a base model or a, hold on. You guys can see that red outline? That looks so dumb. Okay. Is your TSX a base model or ELS? If it's ELS, JBL. If it's a base model, you could still go JBL, but then I would choose maybe Pioneers. You could still go kickers. I'm trying to think. You know what? I would go JBL's either one because of how easy it is to install the speakers. All right, cool. 1 sec, I gotta go grab amps. I'll be right back. I need 3 5-channels and 2 4-channels. Oh, yeah, it's too heavy for me. So every weekend, is usually a big amp weekend. Like people wait for the weekend to buy their amps. So we got 1 5-channel amp. We got 2. Damn, this box is a little messed up. We got 2 5-channel amps. So we're gonna go switch this box. We got 3 5-channel amps. Let me just go check that out. Then we got 1 4-channel amp, and then we got 1 TSX plug and play amp, and then that should be it. Oh no, and then we have 1 more. Then we have 2 more amps on that are already shipped. And we're out of amps. Nice. So we just ran out of amps. We got more on the way, but Monday's a bad day to run out of amps. All right, let's get these amps shipped real quick. So I still have to make these, but since I don't have an advanced inventory system, this is the best way for me to keep inventory. Is a new launch on the website? What new launch? Okay, that's 1. Another 5-channel. Then we get a 4-channel. And this needs the brackets. Hold on 1 second, grab them. So this right here are the brackets. I got the upgraded kicker sub and it's not as loud as the OEM. Some people say that, man. What car on your TSX? There's some people who feel that way. There's other people who think that it sounds way better. If you want more power to the sub, that's how you'll bring it to life. Also, depending on your settings, I don't know, it's a lot. It sounds very subjective. So like a lot of people think like the new sub sounds crazy, and then there's other people who like it barely makes a difference. So I'm not sure. Sounds so subjective that I can't say for sure. I think it makes a difference. I think it sounds better. I think it is louder than the factory sub. But did Alan say what kind of car he had? 09 TSX. Yeah, I don't know. I wonder why that is. But if yours is a base model, then you can grab the plug and play amp and it'll really bring it to life. But I gotta ship these amps real quick, so let me just make sure I'm grabbing the right ones. All right, so there's a 4-channel Acura TL amp. And this is going to Pennsylvania. It's weird that people buy the 4-channel amp for the TL, but it does sell every once in a while, just because most people want to do the 5-channel for the sub. But if they already have subs, then they'll get the 4-channel. Sometimes people order the wrong one because they see the 4-channel is cheaper, so then they grab the 4-channel instead, and then they have to exchange it later on when they realize that it doesn't work, the sub. But it says that here very clearly. All right, so now we got a 4-channel amp. This is a plug and play amp for a TSX. That's what I'm shipping now. That's this guy. You see the brackets are in this box. The TSX amp is one of the few that actually needs brackets because of the weird spot where it's mounted. All the other amps can screw into the factory location with just some screws. All right, then we got some 5-channel amps here. 2008 Acura TL. It's gonna need a signature. This is going to Tennessee, baby. Damn. Gotta add some shipping money. Let's go, baby. Let's go. All right, so this was an Acura TL 5-channel amp. What's the next one? The next one's an Acura TL 5-channel amp as well. Okay. So yeah, again, I still have to make these amps or like configure them, do the wiring and stuff. Right now, it's just a matter of making sure I get the proper inventory. Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Alan, you still didn't tell me if your TSX is a base model or ELS. I'd like to know. Whenever someone says what you said, I like to figure out what's going on. Okay, signature. Yes, sir. What kind of car was it, Willie? All right, this is going to New Jersey. Everything's here. Yep. Okay. Yeah, Monday's a bad day to run out of amps, man. Because we're not going to get more till Wednesday or Thursday. But no one's ordered one right now. So watch. One will come in later tonight, or if not tomorrow morning. Okay, and then I have another 5-channel amp right here. This little, damn, 2 of these boxes are messed up. All right, let me not use those yet. Oh, about to lose everything. Okay, one sec, guys. We're almost done shipping these amps and we can get into the harnesses. Okay. Damn, it's going to take 5 days. Yeah, this guy's in California. That address validated? Yep, okay. It is what it is, bro. You're far away. Some parts of California, it's like crazy how ridiculously expensive the shipping can be. All right, so that makes all of our amps. We'll get to doing those later. We got 2 leftover amps, but these are for people whose orders are part of other stuff. Now we can get started with these harnesses. One second, let me grab this stuff. Actually, I don't need that. I need this, I need this, I need this, this, I need one of these. 1, 2, 3 car sign. One of these. Then I do have one. Shit. Alright, and then do have the harnesses. Yeah. I'm coming, YouTube. Sorry I'm off the screen for so long. Okay. Actually, this isn't the one that would come. I'm just trying to get the right harness here. Is this the one that's coming? Yeah, something like this. Alright, YouTube. So I've made a video like this in the past about this radio right here. Sometimes on speakers I'm driving, could be the amplifier. Hell yeah, it could be. What radio do you have, and do you still have the stock electrical system? Okay, all right. So let me zoom in on me a little bit. too much? All right, there we go. All right, so if you have a TSX 09 to 13, this is going to apply to you. This radio right here, people love to buy this thing. It's super cheap, like 120 bucks, 130 bucks. Maybe you already have one. This radio, low key, kind of sucks. The reason it sucks is because it always comes with the wrong harness. It does not work for your TSX. Your TSX has a factory amplifier, so that factory amplifier needs a certain signal to make your speakers work correctly, and it needs another correct signal to turn on. So you'll buy this radio, you'll end up with no sound. You'll be like, damn. You Google, you find out, hey, the harness that came with this radio has a wire that's not hooked up. This wire right here in this position, on this bottom row, right there, this blue wire. So you see it goes red, space, pink, blue. This turns your amp on. This isn't connected to anything. Your amp's not turning on. So Google will say, hey, connect, or maybe ChatGPT at this point will say, connect this blue wire to, where's the actual connector? Oh, I don't have a blue wire here. Or is that Q1? Yeah. Connect this blue wire to this red wire. Or connect this blue wire to accessory or to turn on or something. Normally the antenna turn on is over here. Oh, the antenna turn on is cut. That's why. Okay. So this would go, this blue wire is normally all together. Sorry, this had some modifications already, but okay. So then it tells you to connect this blue wire to a blue wire to a red wire. Bam, now your amplifier is turning on. You have some sound. Now you listen to the car and you don't have a sub, but all your other speakers are working, but they're kind of this weird volume. They're like kind of loud at like low volume, but then too loud at high volume. So you're like, what the hell's going on with this radio? It's a weird radio. So then to solve your sub issue, you just install aftermarket subs. This comes with a harness that plugs into here. That'll give you a sub out, or maybe you just live without your sub. You maybe stumble across this video or another YouTube video and you figure out, hey, to keep the sub, they didn't send me one of the harnesses I need. One of the harnesses I need that keeps the sub is this little guy right here, this little 8-pin plug. So this keeps the sub. You add this to this, you hook this up to the RCA that's on the back. Bam, you got your sub, all your speakers are playing. You're Gucci. At least you think you're Gucci because at least you have sound, your sub's working. But eventually, your factory amplifier is going to start getting fried. Maybe 6 months, 8 years, 6 months, 8 months, a year. You're like, hey, like I feel like I have to put the radio really loud to hear it like I used to. So what went wrong? So let's backtrack. When I said in the beginning, they sent you the wrong harness, they did. This is wrong for 2 reasons. The big one is that you're going to have no sound if this is not hooked up. Reason number 2 is these speaker wires should be low level signal. They can reprogram the radio to put low level out of here, but most do not. So what you end up having to do is cut these and add a line out converter. I've shown that on video already, and then use the RCAs. But then you're screwed if you, okay. I took a detour I should not have. So let me start over. Okay. So you get this harness, right? This harness right here. And it's wrong for those 2 reasons. Like I said, that blue wire isn't hooked up. You have no sound. This is sending a high level signal instead of a low level signal. So you're like, okay, how do I fix this? What do I buy from you? What do I do? How do I fix this myself? You need this plug. This is the one we sell, but Metro has a 1730, 70-1730, which will look like this one will have RCAs. You'll see that these 2 plugs look very identical. And this one has RCAs. And now you're like, okay, I got the right plug. You splice it in. You go to hook up these RCAs. There aren't enough RCAs in the back of the radio to plug these into. So now you're like, damn, bro, what the I spent this money. I can't fix this radio. I'm just going to return it to Amazon. I'm going to get something else. So then you finally find our website or our video and you see, hey, I could just buy something to fix it. They have a harness that will fix this issue for me. What do I need to buy? I'll show you what you need to buy, But first, I'll tell you that this harness you will no longer need. This does give you some quick benefits or added benefits in the fact that you have a CAN bus decoder. So this will tell you if your doors are open. It also give you some other info. We are working on a harness to help integrate this, but at this moment, we don't have this available. And then the other thing is, I don't know if with this harness or not, your steering wheel controls work right away. With our harness, you will need to program them. So now I'll move forward or move on to our harness. And it's going to start with the same connector they send you, which is this right here. This connector and this connector are the same. This one will plug into the back of the radio, just like that one did. The other thing is, this still has speaker wire. So we're going to convert these speaker wires to RCAs with a line out converter. Now, this isn't best practice because normally your aftermarket radio should have the correct amount of RCAs. But because this radio doesn't and you already have it, we're going to go with the method of making more RCAs this way. Also, within these radios, when you touch the EQ and stuff, since this only has front left out and front right out, when you mess around with the balance, the fader, and the EQ, it doesn't apply correctly compared to when you use it with this. It will apply better because the EQ manipulates both outputs, but it manipulates the speaker output better. So you'll have better sound configuration doing it this way. But I'm going to start yapping. I'm going to actually have a full YouTube video on this and this Android radio because people love this thing. And I'm not against this screen. It's just if you have the ELS system, there's going to be a no. If you have the base, this makes sense. But not this screen with this harness. You need a different combination. And we'll get there one step at a time. Let's actually make a harness that will solve these issues. And then we'll go from there. I have 2 of these to make, but I'm going to make one first. So on the vehicle side, these are the 3 connectors that we need. It is the primary harness with power, accessory, and all your speakers, except for the sub. The sub's on this secondary harness. And then, sorry, I'm just going to move this up a little bit. Oh, it's a little crooked. Sorry, guys. Okay. And then this last thing is your antenna. Then, like I said, we're going to add a line out converter. This will do the job. There are better versions. There are more expensive ones you can use. But in our case, we don't need a line out converter with any fancy features that are going to restore bass or are going to process sound. We just need the voltage converted to a low level voltage that the factory amplifier can easily handle. So the last thing I'm going to go get is the RCAs. Bro, I can't find one of those plugs, bro. They're in here, bro. Let me play these games with me, bro. Here we go. Here's one. So here's the RCA harness I was talking about before. So the issue is that this plugs into right here, right? Then you have your outputs, but your outputs are limited and wrong. So you need a subwoofer out. That's great. That's green. That's going to get hooked up to right here. No matter which harness you use, you're going to need to hook this up to get your sub to work. Then, oh, sorry. You have audio out R and audio out L. Where it is the white? Audio out L. So then these would go to front left and front right, which are on this harness. Front left and front right. So then people are like, no, my harness has enough RCAs because there's an additional pair of white and red, which should say rear left and rear right like these do. But they don't. They say aux in. So this is audio in. So this harness doesn't have enough RCA outputs, and that's the reason why we have to add a line out converter to simplify our life. And this is going to connect to these speaker wires here, and then our RCAs are going to come to here. All this is responsible for is just lowering the voltage so you don't fry or damage your factory amplifier. So let's get started with that first. So let's get some sleeves going. And then let's cut this up. What's up, KC? What's up, YouTube? We're talking about an Acura TSX 09 to 13 and what screens to buy, or screen or radio to buy, depending on your model. So if you have a base model, you really can install any single one you want. You just have to choose the right one when it comes to the actual radio. But what I mean by you can choose any one that you want is you can get this one, you can get the one that goes above this one, that's like the long pill one. You can get the other one that's a 9-inch screen, but it sits above there. Like on the base model, you can kind of make any of them work. On the ELS system, you can only make the ones that mount on the top work the best. I have a video idea written down in like a rough script of how to install this in your ELS system and have everything working. But I don't have an ELS model to test everything that I think will work. So I need to get my hands on one. The model that I have is a base model. But one step at a time, let's make this harness. This harness that we're making right now is to allow this radio to function correctly in a base model TSX. Yeah, I know, man. It has been forever. I will, so I moved houses, and then this is my new house. Where's that camera? And here I actually made a very deliberate effort to be able to, here I'll show you my USB cam, have cars in here. So if you see back there, hold on, where's my finger? Over here, hold on, down the other way, over there. Hold on, one second, man, one second. I have a better solution than what I'm doing. All right, the camera's gonna go black for a second. Just gotta add the extension. Make sure I don't burn myself. All right, cool. Okay. All right. So I actually thought about this exact scenario and reused stuff from my last streaming setup for it. Just give me one sec. All right, cool. And then let me just set back up. So can you see? All right, yeah. So now I can reach a lot further. So that washer and dryer got to go, and that rack got to go. Once that's gone, I can easily fit a car in here because right now it's a little tight. And then with this camera, I can get about this far. So like my desk is back over there. So I can get about this far to film stuff. You see there's a nice gap of space, so I can scoot this over. And then now I can work on this car anytime. Right now the TL is locked. You can see the little LED because the alarm keeps randomly going off. So I don't know why the alarm randomly keeps going off. I think one of the sensors for the door is bad, but I'm not 100% sure. So I've been letting it sit armed so it would go off, but it still hasn't gone off. Meanwhile, before it was going off all the time. My neighbor was getting upset. I have like an older neighbor. He's like, hey, what are you doing about that alarm? Don't worry, sir, I will fix it. So yeah, but once this is, once we sell that washer and dryer, so we still don't have a couch. So we're gonna sell that washer and dryer. let me start over. We bought this house. We have our own washer and dryer that we brought in. I finally swapped them this weekend. Those are the old ones. The old ones we're selling. We're hoping to get enough money so we could buy a couch because we still don't have a couch yet. So once that all happens, I'll have all the space I need because right now it's a little too close to me. Like I'm touching the wheel with my wheel, and then I'll have a little bit more space. And then once I catch up with my orders, I can like stream me actually doing stuff to vehicles as I'll be streaming and filming depending what I'm doing. All right, back to this, making this harness. So I stripped all these. Yes, sir, I did. Now I gotta fix all these. Yeah, no, damn, why did I forget the names? Uh, there was a guy in our chat earlier, man. Why I can't remember his name. It was like AP something. He wants to buy a radio. If I see his name, I'll know it, but I can't remember. But he was saying how his is freaking mint. Garage kept 125,000 miles, no rip seats, no crack dash. I remember when that used to be me, bruh. Now my seats ripped. My dash got hella cracks. Sad days, sad days. Oh, you know what I want to do? I want to do a spot check. Let's see how those tweeter cups have been holding up in this Florida heat. All right, so let me switch the camera one sec. Let me switch the camera. All right, so these are the tweeter cups that we sell. I have the JBL speaker installed in my car, so let me unlock it real quick. One sec. Come on. Sorry, see my triple chin over there? All right, look at this. Look at that horrendous Florida heat. Oh, but you can still see they're still there. Oh, baby. So this car has been sitting in Florida heat in the sun the whole summer. And these have the tweeter cups that we sell. So what I want to show you is how good these tweeter cups are because this has been sitting in the sun and the tweeter has not fallen out and the tweeter cup is right in there, clipped in. You see the tweeter harness is right there. No issue, baby. It's going on like a whole year now. But this car wasn't sitting as crazily in the sun before as it is now. But bam, tweeter right in there. And then I have the JBL in this door, but it you probably can't see that, but yeah, look at this, man. Damn. And this dash. God damn. I still have that screen in here, so this is all a mess. But yeah, that's a big flex right there. Florida heat, no issue for that tweeter cup. Holding on as long as it needs to. Sorry, I'm just fixing the camera so don't. But yeah, so if you ever wanted to upgrade your speakers, I stand by JBL, and that's proof. That's been like more than a year, but it's been in the sun for like the last 2 months cooking. That's where all those cracks are coming from. All right, we need sleeves. Yo, what's up? And those are these little cups right here that are holding that tweeter in place. They fit the JBL tweeters really good. I'm trying to put it on this camera. Yep. So if you're wondering about it, they work really well, man. Sometimes I doubt our products because I don't get to install them as often, but then they just proof. That's proof right there. All right, hold on. Let me get these sleeves ready. Let me swap that. But yeah, man, I really want to change my dashboard. I think in the meantime I got a dash mat, even though I really don't like them, but that dashboard gotta go. All right, so right now I'm cutting heat shrink, and I lost count. 2, 4, 6, 7. I need one more. This heat shrink is to cover the speaker connections because that's what we're starting with first. Also, if you have your own harness for this, so you're using this, right? What you're going to do is you have the same speaker wire as I do. You're just gonna cut them. and add your own line out converter. You can buy a line out converter anywhere. You're just going to cut them. I know mine look different because the harnesses are apart, but you could just cut yours right here and connect the line out converter just how I'm about to. I'm just going to add heat shrink real quick to each line. And then they're labeled by color. The only color that's different here is blue. Instead of purple, they use blue. But white to white, green to green, gray to gray. It's pretty straightforward. This will help you if you have that weird issue where your sound gets really loud really fast, or maybe you always have hissing, or maybe you always have distortion because of that high level input. So this will take care of that. Remember, if you have no sound, that's that blue wire. You just got to connect it to the red wire, and that'll fix that. But I'll show you it all at the end. But yeah, man, I'm excited for this whole streaming setup. I am going to buy a different GoPro so I don't have to dismount this GoPro so I can record YouTube videos. And I'm going to be making a lot more content because I'll have the car in here and I can make the video now, or at 12 or at 1. Before, I couldn't be outside at that time, and the video would have been trash because everything would have been in the dark. And all the stuff that we used to have in here, I have in a little room that I cut out a door for so I could grab everything. That's my stock room. It's filled to the T and has everything. Didn't I cut more of these? Yes, I did. Okay. All right, so now we're going to color match. I didn't strip any other wires on purpose. And let me just clean my little area here so that it's less confusing for you guys. Sorry, car. Get this out of the way. Get this out of the way. Get my mouse out of the way. Clean this up just so it looks better on video and more clear. So notice how, hold on, those you can still see. Get those out of the way. All right. Notice how I didn't cut any of these wires yet or strip any of these wires because we're just doing the speaker connection. So we're just color matching right here and right here first. We're not doing any other wiring yet. We're just starting with the speakers because this is the most common thing you'll have to fix if you do buy that radio and it doesn't come with the right harness. I don't know why they haven't fixed it yet because they have introduced radios that have the correct amount of RCA outputs. I'll show you one. Have it saved in my Amazon cart. I was going to order it for the video. But right now funds are low, so we got to wait. But I'll show it to you. Just one sec. Let me wire these together. So yeah, I stream every day at lunchtime between 12 and 2. But late night streams, I will be streaming more, but I don't have a schedule yet. Because like at night, it's weird to know when exactly I'll be free. And anytime I could have to go if something happens with the baby or my wife needs help or the dogs too. My dog got sick. He freaking ate a wet wipe, I think. He threw up like 5 times. Freaking retard, man. Eating stuff he shouldn't have. One sec. I'll go through the Android radios real quick for you guys right after I twist these together. I just don't want to forget one. And then we'll let the solder heat up and then we'll jump into the radios. All right, so let me go to Amazon real quick. And then let me switch my let me make sure I ain't got no crazy stuff in here. I'll be looking at some crazy stuff on Amazon. I don't want y'all to judge me. All right, let me go back to me and the screen. Okay, so hold on. I don't know what's in my car right now. Might be some freaky stuff in there. I'm just kidding, guys. Nothing like that. Just to watch the dogs. All right, so these are the screens I found. So this is by some weird company, but something you'll notice is that these have a new look. So this must be the new version of these screens. that isn't available yet other places. But if you look at the back of this screen, oh, you can, okay, yeah. Let me move this a little bit. Okay, so look at the back of this screen. I'm going to zoom in here. All right, so you see the back of this screen, and I'll show you the back of this screen. So to the naked eye, they might look completely the same, but they're actually different, which makes me believe that the board layout inside is different. And because that board layout is different, that means that the actual radio is different. And the other thing that leads me to believe that the radio is different is the fact that they showcase, they showcase that they have, hold on, I think it's further down here. 5-channel RCA is one of the things they actually say they have, and that's what you want. Does this one not say it? This one might not say it. Hold on, I have another one in my cart. But I'll save for later because I ain't got the funds right now. Research is not cheap, bro. Research is not cheap. That's why you gotta like Google so hard. I think this one says it. No, this one doesn't say it either. Bro, I know I didn't make this up. Does it say here? No, it's in the marketing somewhere then. Did that say it? No. Doesn't say it either. Doesn't say it either. The only thing I can show you is the packing. So like you see there's 6 pairs. So here I'll zoom in. So if we look down here, hold on. The image gets too big now. Totally. Sorry guys, I wish I had better research for you, but haven't gotten there yet. Alright, so what I'm trying to show you is, you see this harness down here? It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 RCAs. So that means it has audio out, left, right. It has audio front, right, rear left, and sub. So this radio eliminates the need for a line-out converter, and it's going to have a much better integration. I will actually buy one and confirm that for you guys, but I'm more than sure it will. This is the only brand that I've found that is selling this newer model that has this stuff, and it's relatively cheap. So like if we look at Acura TSX Android radio, these are just that radio in a frame. So I think this is still the old model. Let's see. Do they have a packing list? They do not. 8 core, yeah, they all say 64 gigabytes. Yeah, see, if they're showing that image, I can't say that's the real image, but if they're showing that image, this is the old model. Yeah, a lot of people are always upset that it doesn't work correctly. But I will report back on that 9-inch screen. These new models should be pretty good. I will let you know. But what I wanted to show you is Acura TSX Android screen. Let's call it head unit, sure. Head unit 2010, let's say. So you have the 3 big options. This is number 1. A lot of people like this big pill screen. God damn, that looks crazy, but this is one that people like. I don't recommend it because there's not enough support or information out there. This is the second one we just looked at. This, if you have a base model, go for it. If you have the tech package, I don't recommend it. If you have the tech package, you're better off grabbing this. But my number 1 recommendation would be one of these. This is the 10.1, not the 9-inch. The 9-inch fits a little bit different. Let's see if I can find you a picture. That's not our picture. What the hell is this? Oh, it's a floating display. That sits a little too far out, so I don't really like how that looks. Here. This is what it looks like. The other one that sits a little bit flush is a 9-inch. The reason why I recommend the 9-inch over the other ones is because they're easily no, I wouldn't say easily repairable. There are so many of them. You can find information about the 9-inch screens anywhere. And if you take one apart, all the boards are relatively the same. You're either going to have like version A, B, C, or D of the board, and then you can have your board replaced, or you could replace just a 9-inch screen instead of replacing the whole radio. Because if that radio goes bad, the widescreen 9-inch, I don't know if you can buy just a replacement screen. But if the 9-inch radio goes bad, you could easily unscrew it from the frame and put in a new screen and be rolling no problem. So it just makes repairability and long term better. In terms of would you ask Casey S Joy bring? They seem to have solid radios. So let me pull something else up real quick. 1 second. Okay. All right, so let me go back to my screen. All right, so here is Joy bring. They don't have bad radios. The reason why they don't have bad radios is because they basically give you what is the most popular. First off, you have a full set of RCA outputs, which is huge. You have front camera and rear camera and video out. You have a button for you have an actual volume control, which is huge for people. People love that. And then the price point. You can't go wrong with this. You have CarPlay, you have Android Auto, Bluetooth, and the connections are pretty simple. Has resistive steering wheel control, so you don't even need an adapter. You can just use it. So solid radio. Now, the reason why S Joy Bring has solid radios is because in the past, they sold garbage radios. And then they found a better supplier. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. So on Alibaba, I can go, and with enough time, we can find the radio that S Joy Bring is buying and reselling. Here's a really cheap one that they all like to buy and resell. So you'll see this on eBay all the time. It sucks, and it doesn't even fit in your card. Don't buy that one. There are other Chinese manufacturers that will let you put your logo on their radio and will sell you that radio. And the reason I know is because I wanted to do it, but the investment is so big that I didn't want to. But look, this was the old school. They used to sell this one. They don't sell it anymore. But you see that the style looks very very similar to the ones we just saw on Amazon. Like this one and that one almost look, sorry, wrong one. This one and the one on Amazon look almost identical. That part number for that radio used to be 78 auto bit. Yeah, so this is the auto bit store, but they're just like S Joy Bring. They're selling you something from Alibaba that they added their logo to, but this manufacturer makes pretty good radios. So you have the manufacturer to look back to of Grand Navi. They are huge. They sell all kinds of car radios and they have really good products, but this is really who you're buying from when you buy on Amazon. And this is what they're buying them from. So they make solid radios. You can see all the connectors are the same. Literally, it's the same radio. They just change the face. So it's good stuff. But the reason why it's good stuff is not because S Joy Bring is the brand behind it. They're just some seller. The reason why it's good stuff is because Grand Navi and their factory and their company has been making radios for so long that they know how to make a good radio. I'm trying to see if I can find any of the exact radios we saw on Amazon. I think we saw this one exactly on Amazon. Sorry. Come on. Where's mute? There we go. Right? This one was exactly on Amazon like this? With this weird volume knob? I remember seeing that weird volume knob. saw that weird volume one, bro. I was like, that's a weird volume. Maybe I've seen it on another day. But anyways, I'll stop my rant. I just wanted to let you know that those radios aren't bad, and there's a lot of radios on Amazon that aren't bad currently because their suppliers have really upped how good they have become. Well, Brand Navi or Grand Navi is just going to sell you, like if you're not buying 1,000 of them, they're just going to sell it to you relatively at the same cost. But you could get one off AliExpress for cheaper. But now with all the tariffs and shipping restrictions, I don't know if it's worth it going directly to Alibaba or AliExpress. Also with Amazon, you could just get it tomorrow. So it's up to you. Thanks for sharing this info. How would Tesla Navi? What would be the best route for replacing Navi with one of these Apple CarPlay? So if you have a 2004 to 2008 Acura TSX, you have 3 options. Is it 3 or 4? 4 options for a radio replacement. I'll cover those in a second. Let me just get through this. Let me do some wiring. I need to do some work and not more yapping. But yeah, I wanted to launch my own Acura radio, and I was going to take one of those and have them modify the software to remove some options, add some other options. But you need to buy 1,000 of them, man. And 1,000 at freaking $30 adds up. And then how do I know that people aren't just going to be like, bro, this is just AliExpress crap, and then just be mad? Because like to manufacture your own radio really takes R&D and a huge budget. That's why even these other companies just buy radios from these Chinese vendors, slap their logo on it, and call it a day. Big companies do that. Like Dual doesn't do it anymore. They used to do it back in the day, but Power Acoustic will do it sometimes. If not, those same companies will manufacture their radios. That's pretty common too. Okay, so while I do this, 2004, 2008 Acura TL. Just off the top of my head, I'll show you on a computer, but just off the top of my head. Android screen #1, people love it. Other people hate it. People say the navigation. The climate controls don't work. They do work. Android screen on a frame developed for the Android screen. That's option 1. Option 2, I would say, is the Metro Dash Kit. That's pretty popular. Metro Dash Kit has the climate control. It looks very weird. I don't know why they haven't updated it yet. I would not be surprised if next year they update that dash kit because of all the slimmer radios available now. But that'd be option 2, Metro Dash Kit, traditional double DIN. Option 3 would be radio below the factory radio in that cubby. We have a video on that. We have a video on the Metro Dash Kit as well. I would say that'd be option 3. Option 4 now is you can add CarPlay to the factory navigation screen, so you can keep everything navigation, everything factory, and then Grom Audio will sell you a piece to add CarPlay to the factory stereo. So that's option 4. Yeah, option 5, I've seen people do it, is you take out the Navi screen, you leave it completely assembled, and you put a screen or a tablet on top. That's a tablet mod. There are radios that are that skinny now that can fit on there. That's super rare, though. Not a lot of people do it, but that could be your other option. And then those are really it. So pick one of those and then tell me which one you want to see. And then in the meantime, for our harness here, you've been following the harness. Sorry, we got off tangent. We did our speaker connections. Now we need to connect our other wires. For this, we're just going to color match. It's really a bunch of color matching. The only thing that is... the only thing that's important is if you're using our plug, this one right here, you bought the DIY combo, you need to jump gray, black. So this wire right here, gray, black to black. That's steering wheel control ground. And then this gray right here, this single gray, is steering wheel control switch. That needs to go to this brown wire right here. So gray to brown. But I'll take it step by step. First step, gray, black to black. Again, this is only if you have our aftermarket, our harness. If you don't have our harness, then you will have to wire tap these wires. These two wires will be missing from the harness you're using. DIY combo, I think it's $30. Or bring the 3 harnesses to make this easier for you. If not, just wire tap. But I think the Metro harness is around the same price, so I don't know if it's worth adding it. If it's worth getting that one just to have to wire tap. Right, so we did gray, black to black. Let me go back here, gray, black to black. Then we're going to jump red to blue, white. So here's another thing that's tricky about these screens. Sometimes if you take that blue wire and you connect it to blue, it's not enough amperage to turn on the factory amp. Usually if it's not enough amperage, it means there's something wrong with your factory amp. But either way, the harness has to work or you're going to think there's something wrong with the harness. So to make sure there's enough amperage, you join blue, white, and red. So this is what's turning on the factory amp. This is what's turning on the radio. So you're just jumping them together. So when the radio turns on, the amp turns on. Again, this shouldn't be necessary. You should do blue, white to the blue here. But sometimes when you do that, the factory amp doesn't turn on. I can't take the chance of you getting the harness and it not working correctly, because people get very upset in these situations, mostly because they already bought something that's not working correctly. So then they bought something to fix it and then that doesn't work correctly. It's not a pleasant experience for me or for you. So I learned that I should just always jump this wire like this. Otherwise, you could end up in that situation where your screen's turning on, but your factory amp's still not turning on. And then if you have to jump that wire and you're not someone who is very technical, it'll feel like you're doing open heart surgery. So I don't want that for you. So that's why I started making that change now. That's something I had to learn from doing a bunch of these. All right, so now we're going to color match these to these. We just need to add more sleeving to these wires. This cutter is bad. There we go. Here's the right one. Okay. All right. So cover all of these. We should link your website and your bio full of videos. Yeah, that's a great idea. They are linked in the description, but a lot of people mix the YouTube description. So then it just goes on seen. And then we try to add it as a first comment. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to just add it to the banner of the videos. I might even start doing that to the live stream. I want to add like a couple little things to the live stream as well. But one step at a time, one step at a time. Let's make sure we keep streaming every day. Little goals first. Okay, orange and blue. Okay, so I'm gonna get my color matching out of the way real quick. So you're like, okay, Orlando, you said blue, white to red. So then I have this blue here. What do I do with this blue? Because you said that this blue doesn't go with this blue. You said it goes with the red. So now I have a single blue I don't know what to do with. So that's where the antenna goes. You might have forgotten about this piece. I showed it to you in the very, very beginning. But this is the antenna turn on wire, this solid blue wire. So it goes to this solid blue wire. And that's where this will go. So we're going to connect this one first. And you can twist your wires like this and put a cap on them. I just twist them in a straight line so it makes like a nice looking product at the end. Okay, so that took care of that. So now we got to color match all of these. We're gonna jump on the hardest one first, which I said earlier is going to be brown to our solid gray. If you are not using our harness, then brown, you're gonna have to wire tap to the, I think it's pink wire on the factory plug. It's very thin. I don't recommend wiretapping it. You can also move pins. I showed you how to do that in a different TSX video. You can just transfer the pins from one to the other. So if you buy 2 Metro plugs, you can transfer pins and basically make the harness we have here in front of us. This is orange or orange black? That's orange black. Okay. All right. So now this blue, white, and red go to this red. Then orange to orange, yellow to yellow, black to black. Everything else is just color matching. You're going to end up with 2 blacks on one side. That's perfectly fine. You see how I have 2 wires and then 1 wire on the other side? That's perfectly fine. That's very standard in car audio when you're doing aftermarket accessories. But it can be a little bit confusing for someone who just is doing this for the first time, because you're like, hey, like I thought these wires are supposed to match 1 to 1. And in a perfect world, they will, but with car audio, as you're doing different accessories, you're always going to have to kind of jumble wires together, especially grounds and accessories, which are the black and red wires. All right, so now we color match, connected all our wires. Now we're going to add our solder. Hello, Midwest F-150. How are you, sir? I am not much for audio upgrades because I'm not as comfortable doing it, but I did recently throw in some sound deadening products on the door, help with bass. Can you tell us what you used? So did you grab some sound deadening butanol? Actually, what is the actual sound deadening material called? Because there's so many. Hold on, we're gonna go real quick and look at that because I need to get my terminology right. I don't do much sound deadening. We sell the material, but I forget what it's called. Because if it's just sound deadening material, there's all kinds of different materials. So I think it's butyl something. But hold on, one sec. We're gonna look it up right now. All right, so we soldered all those. Come on, get over there. SoundSkins makes great stuff, man. What I don't like about SoundSkin though is that they will sell you like all-in-one, and it makes you kind of not get the most. But it's the good stuff. I think for the all-in-one solution, it's very good. So what do they call it? Hold on, I'm jumping to my screen. Sound dampening door kit. So SoundSkins will have a layer of like foam padding, then the layer of aluminum, then the layer of butyl, and it's good stuff. I like it. I think they even describe it. Yeah, so waterproof, heatproof, whatever. But there is a whole gallery of material. So Standard Plast isn't sold in the U.S. anymore because it's a Russian company, or I don't remember where it's from, honestly. But they do have different material, and there's a bunch of different ones, and they have different names. So that says arches, fenders, trunk, floor. So this is regular butanol. So this is aluminum and then that glue. So that's standard stuff. That's usually how it always is. What the hell is this? This is like a thicker material. Yeah, they did something to their website because it's not. All right, let's go to Dynamat. Because Dynamat has a wide range of products as well. So it's Dynamat Extreme. Bro, can you give me a... Here we go. Give me the catalog. Much easier to browse this way. Full screen, please. Oh wait, no, I'll lose you guys if I go full screen. Sorry about that. Can you see the catalog though? You can. Okay. Can I zoom in? Okay, yeah, totally. Let me zoom in all the way. Oh, it's because my screen's too small. All right, it is what it is. This doesn't even tell me what it really is. It's just how it works. But okay, so what I was trying to get at is that usually you lay down the butyl that sticks on, then you lay it down like a different layer, and then finally this padding layer, and then there's like different ways to achieve the best sound, because then you have like, look, this is for roofs. It's metal plates. This is for those crazy guys who will shake their whole car. Like you could see the subs they show here. So like, there's a whole bunch of different material. They call it Dyna plate, Dyna deck. What is this? Weatherproof and wear resistant replacement for carpet. Okay. The hood liner I know about. Dyna pad I know about. Dyna core I guess is, oh, this is a thicker foam. Okay. Dyna liner we know about. Pro X Extreme. Okay. All right. Okay, that's cool. If you could show me option 3, I believe you mentioned the dash kit for the Acura TSX. Yeah, no problem. I also will show you something else real cool. Just give me one sec. Let me go find it. An exclusive. Not really. You could go find this on your own. You just need to be part of the group. Bruh. I'd be tight if I got kicked from the group. Here we go. Okay, I'm about to say. There's no way I got kicked from the group. Sorry, guys. One second. I'm just trying to find the post that I want to show you. But it's not under there. Okay. This guy did a really awesome job. So many people post here. Okay, let me go back. Back again. One sec, guys. One sec. I want to see if it got featured. No, it didn't get featured. That's whack. Okay, I think MDX won it. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to find it. What a waste. Oh, actually, let me see. Can I sort these? Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. That's the most load. All right, I can show you the screen now. All right. Sorry for that long-winded thing. What I was trying to show you is this. This guy right here, Chris Perdue, is part of the Bass Heads on a Budget. And he took every single sound deadening company out there and he measured the results to tell you which one's the best. And he ranked them all. And he did an explanation on what it meant for each one. So you can join the Bass Heads on a Budget group on Facebook, and you can come read this post for yourself if you ever were wondering which one is the best. People are always going to bring on the brand that they wanted, but here are like the main results. So number one was these right here. I'll give you the top five. I'll give you the top five. Put the top five in the chat for you guys. This way, if you're looking for sound deadening, those were the results, and you can come check out this group, and this guy will nice thorough explanation. I think this is great because you really know. I'm sure it's just one guy doing a test though, so like you can't claim that's science. But I feel like he did a good job enough explaining that it makes sense to do it. All right, so my friend's been waiting for me to do the 2007 Acura TSX Metra double din. So we're gonna go to images, and yeah, let's go on Crutchfield because they're probably gonna have the most images. So let me go back to main screen, and here you can go, my friend. Here's one. So this is what it'll look like. Here's some more pictures. Here's some more pictures. More pictures. Okay, now I'm gonna tell you what people say. People say this thing is ugly. So that's number one. It's ugly. They don't like it. They don't like how it sticks out like that. It sticks out. They hate that. So they're gonna say it's ugly. Number two, they're gonna say climate control sucks, and that the buttons for the climate control suck. But this is the only solution on the market that will install where the factory navigation goes, completely remove the factory navigation or the factory radio, give you an additional climate control, and allow you to install a traditional double DIN radio. There is a concept I have thrown around about grabbing 2008 Acura TSX Android screen. Okay, so you take one of these guys that takes a 9-inch screen. So this is the other one that's pretty popular. This is a 9-inch Android screen. So you can take this screen out, and then we'll go to Skyframe 2004 Acura TSX. So the company behind all these Android radios, I can't see it, is Skyframe. They are the ones who produced them all. Most of them, I should say. They took a lot of stuff and made it unavailable to us, which is very annoying. All right, let's go on eBay. I saw an eBay link. Actually, what happened to the eBay link? It's on Amazon. Bro, I saw an Amazon link. I must have not seen it with the screen. What the hell is this for? Oh, Mitsubishi. All right, well, this picture is big enough. So you can take this frame. Sorry, you can't even see my screen. What am I doing? You can take this frame right here. Can I open this image in a new tab? Yes, okay. All right, so you can take this frame right here. Let me zoom in. You see these mounting holes. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's how the Android screens mount. They mount with these mounting holes. So you can get a 9-inch to 7-inch Android screen adapter. So then this will fit in the 9-inch screen and allow you to then put a traditional double DIN radio. But then your last limitation is that your radio can't be too thick because there isn't much space behind this frame to begin with. The radio is very thin, but that could be your workaround. You can use this frame and have a dedicated control put a 7-inch back there. You just need a slim one. So there's like a DMH C25 NEX. This guy is a separate receiver and brain. So one sec, let me get to the right picture. Come on. Okay. So this separates from the screen, and then you can put the screen there and tuck this in the dash or something. And that's like a Frankenstein way, or I think a way that would work but has not been tested. I don't have a TSX to test it for you, but if you don't want to be bothered, then what I showed you the first time, the Metro Kit, it's been out for a while. It's been proven it works. It has support. People like it. People don't like it, but it's the easiest to install, and this is what it will look like. So I hope that answered your question, my friend. I hope you're still watching. I'm going to go back to our harness now because I've been not working too much. And then we just need to apply heat to shrink this heat shrink. And then we'll go over how to connect it. All right, cool. So now those are set to go. Let's add our heat. I know who that is. Yeah, you're welcome, man. I hope that makes you make. If you could tell us what you decided on, I'd like to know what you decided on and why. Oh, Midwest. I'm sorry, I missed that message. Yeah, I want to do that to our RAV4. We have a Toyota RAV4, and the noise is crazy. Once you're on the highway, like if my wife is in the backseat with the baby and I'm the one driving, like Uber style, I can't hear what they say sometimes. We have to like yell at each other. The road noise is crazy. So I want to add some material to my doors, and then there's a lot of wind getting in. So I'm gonna add the rain guards. I'm hoping those will help deflect the wind. But yeah, I need to take those door panels off and add some material because that road noise is crazy. All right, guys. So this is kind of what it looks like at the end. So we have these connections here. Let me grab this connection. We have these here that I have not unraveled, so you probably haven't seen this entire time. So take this out. These are labeled right here. It says front and rear. So we're going to match FR and FL. White is going to black. Red is going to red. And then we're going to match RR and RL, which again, red, and then white to black. So that takes care of our sound. So what we did is we took the signal coming out of that radio to our converter. Our converter then switches the signal to a low-level signal that is sent via RCA to our car. Then the last thing is the subwoofer. You want your subwoofer to work. You want to have the factory sub pounding. That's going to be this green wire right here. You're going to hook up the white to this. So then what's going to hook up to the car are these three connectors here. What's going to hook up to your radio is this white connector and this black connector. This way now you'll have full sound. Your subwoofer will work and you won't damage your factory amplifier. And this is the solution that we sell. We don't need your harness. We'll make you a new one and you can keep the old one. Like I said before though, we would like to develop a Frankenstein between these two. So this is the original harness. just so we can salvage the CAN decoder box so that we can have the our harness also pick up stuff from the vehicle. But now that I finished this, I'm going to zip tie and tape it so that it looks like a final product when you get it. Okay, awesome, man. Thanks for the update. I really wanted to know because I like to get people's opinion on stuff, and I'm happy you don't care what other people think. I'm happy that you're going to make the decision on what you want. If you do have trouble with programming our installation video should help you. It should be pretty thorough to get you have the installation finished. But if you do need help, Metra is still supporting that kit, so they can help you with the troubleshooting codes. Because the whole thing with that, the only tricky part of that is that it has to program to your car. It doesn't it's not pre-programmed or anything. So the climate operation has to program itself when you install it. And sometimes it likes to give you weird errors. So Metro will be the ones to help you fully get it situated. But hopefully that doesn't happen. Hopefully you have a nice smooth install and you don't have to worry about it. All right, so here pink is the reverse camera trigger. So if you're going to add a backup camera, you're going to have this pink wire connected. This orange black is key 2. So you can run this to your HFL if you want to keep your call control buttons. Most of the time, people aren't connecting this. So what we're going to do is we're just going to leave it in the tape. Oh my God, that scared me. Ah, that was too funny. All right, so I'm just going to tape this up real quick. Then I'll show you it when it's done. Bro, it made me legit jump, bro. What a pussy. But I really did not expect that noise. But yeah, I wonder what made that guy test all that sound deadening material and where he got it all from. He must work at a shop or own a shop or something, because there's no way you're spending your own money on all that material. It's like you have it laying around or you bought samples, then it would make sense. All right, then we got to zip tie the sub RCA so it doesn't get forgotten. And then we got another one just like this we got to make. There's 2 that were ordered. I haven't made one of these in a while. I think the video had actually helped people and they just were fixing them on their own, but maybe people just haven't been buying them as much. I'm not sure. But this weekend 2 of them sold, so lucky us. These zip ties are just to make it look cleaner so that it's easy to install. Actually, that antenna RTA can't go there. And then the last thing is I like to zip tie this black box straight to this. Yeah, no worry, man. No worries, Ryu. I don't even want to attempt to say the wrong thing, so no worries. You can always repair your navigation or have it repaired or replace it, so you do have a ton of options, man. All right, guys, so here it is. This is what this crazy thing looks like when it's done. This is the connector. Actually, I'm just going to plug it in front of you so that there's no confusion, because this will confuse people. All right, so here's the good old trusty Android radio you bought. Even though I told you not to, you're like, nah, man, screw what that guy said. I'm going to buy what I want. So this connector matches here. It's like some Lego type stuff. You're just going where it goes. This connector right here goes right here. Then there's two more connections you have to make from our harness to the radio. So that went there. Antenna goes here. Can you see that? Yep, right there, antenna. Bam. The last thing is this. This is sub. Sometimes it says sub, sometimes it's not labeled. This goes to subwoofer, which is this green right here. And bam. Now your radio's connected. You have full audio. Your amplifier's turning on when it has to. The last thing you have to do is program the steering wheel controls. I'm actually just going to do that right now so that I can show you how to do it, because that's another thing that will trip people up. So one sec. I'm going to power this guy on right now. I think this one's broken, but it should still work all the same. Or it should work enough for us to do what we need to do. Okay. Let's disconnect that. Get this out of the way. Get this out of the way. All right, so now you connected everything, right? You connected everything how I showed you. You're going to power your radio on for the first time. Sorry, one sec, guys. Don't want to ruin this radio. Okay, they're not touching. They're not touching. We're good. All right, so you're going to power your radio on for the first time. It might take a little longer on the first boot, but usually you can get in pretty quickly. So now there's two things we have to take care of. Number one, hold on, as that loads, just gonna keep loading, okay. Two things we need to take care of. Number one is program our steering wheel controls. I'm gonna show you that. Number two is if you're keeping the factory backup camera on the screen for whatever reason, you need to change the setting for the backup camera to read it correctly. But I'm gonna go through each one. Let me just switch back to the screen. So there's a little bit of a glare. Yeah, you just got to kind of deal with the glare. I want to see if I can. No, yeah, it's coming back. You got to deal with the glare. It is what it is. But in the screen, you're going to go into settings. And then you're going to go into vehicle settings. And then in here, it will say SWC. If it doesn't, very easy fix. If it's not there, you're going to go into apps. And then in your actual applications you see here, there's going to be one that says SWC. That one's in your glare, so you can't really see right there, SWC. You hit that. Here is the setup. Hold on, let me see if I can kill some of that glare because it's super important. Okay, so right like this, that, like that. Okay, like that. All right, so here it says select, short press, start, reset. So we're gonna hit reset. Yep, and then you're gonna hit start. Now you're in the learning state. You're going to press the volume up on the steering wheel. So on your actual steering wheel, on the actual steering wheel of the car, you're going to press volume up. Then you're going to press volume up on here. And you're going to press the key again. Or it might be vice versa. You press the button here, then you press the key. After you press the key, right now you can't see, but it's red. Sorry, I'm trying to block that glare for you. But this icon has a red outline on it. Once you hit volume up, it'll turn green and you can move to the next and move to the next. Finally, when you're done, you can hit save and that will program your steering wheel controls. Remember, it's either an app or in the settings. And that is super important because if you plug our harness in and your steering wheel controls aren't working, that's the last step you need to do for them to work. But all right, let me turn this off and then we'll get this one in a box and ship it out to our customer. Let me just fix myself here real quick. Put this back over here. Put this back in here. Cool. And now we need a little box. Damn, YouTube, we lost all our viewers. We had a couple going. Had like 15 at one point. But I guess people are going to bed. So that's all right. Oh, we've been streaming. It was an hour and 30. I was only trying to go an hour. All right, so I'm not going to do the next one on stream, guys. I will see y'all tomorrow. I'm going to keep working, though. Get the other one done. It won't take me an hour because I won't be yapping. I will see you guys tomorrow for the midday stream. If you have any questions, feel free to save them for then. You can email us or you can text us, but either way, you won't get an answer until tomorrow. So just save them for tomorrow's stream. I'll answer your question. We'll go from there. All right, cool. We got the harness. Tomorrow at lunchtime. Actually, I'll finish this other harness and then I'll jump off. I'll do the other one on stream too. I'm just not going to be talking about it as much because we already covered it. But tomorrow between 12 and 2, usually I start at 1, go 1 to 2, but today I did 12:30 to 1:30. It's right in the smack dab middle of the day. All right, this one's going to Florida. So I'll have this on Wednesday. Let me just double check the name. Before I ship it to the wrong person. Nope, this is for them. Let me get the stuff for the next one. Android harness, and then line converter. All right, cool. Get that out of the way. Let's open all of these up, and then get back to the stream. Yeah, so I stream every day for an hour at least, or more or less an hour at lunchtime every day of the week. And then I stream at night, but I don't have a night schedule yet. But you can catch me every day, middle of the day. I know it's a little rough for some people because you're working, you know. But so am I. Oh, I gotta ask my wife if she's hungry. See if we get some BK Lounge. Which one? Oh no! Oh, come on, bro! Come on! This is the last thing we need right now. Someone texted me and said, "Hey, my order said it was delivered, but I didn't get it." So now we gotta play investigator and figure out where is it. Delivered in or at mailbox. Okay. Is that the town he lives in, though? Yes, it is. Okay. All right, hold on. Someone sent an image. Got it. That's for a harness. Front door. Yeah, poor guy, man. People in Canada are getting screwed right now. Someone wants to order an amp, but he's saying that if he orders it, it's going to be like double the price. And that's true. Okay, back to this. When are you going to have the other plug and play amp back in stock? Okay, so you're talking about Yeah. You're talking about this amp, or are you talking about how could I get to that amp? There's no link for it, and it won't show up. What if I search Audison? Yeah, no, it doesn't come up. Or are you talking about the amp that doesn't show up right now? I'm trying to think how I can get the link to it. I don't even know how I can get the link to it. But we were selling the SR6 at 600. Yeah, we were selling this guy and a plug and play configuration. But we're actually gonna start selling this guy instead. I don't know if we're gonna carry both, but Audison. We're looking for a good DSP amp that puts out good power. Because usually when people want to upgrade, they want like a substantial upgrade when they go this, like when they're doing their ELS or they're doing a newer car. So picture like a 2020 TLX. They usually want a pretty big upgrade. So we're kind of debating between the C8 and the M8. The thing with the C8 is that the M8 is a powerful one, yeah. It's doing 65 by 8 or 100 by 8 at 2 ohms, which is perfect. Like this will work really well with your car, but it is very pricey. Let's see if we look the part number up. So this is the CF, yeah. So even if we go on Amazon, it's $1,000 on Amazon. Are you really Are you really prepared to spend $1,000? I feel like if you're driving a freaking 2020 Acura TLX and your car is worth 30 grand or 50 grand, then you would spend the money. But if you're driving like a 2009, come on, Acura TL, they're still. I mean, it's almost like 10% of your car at that point. Like, so I don't know. We'll see which one we bring back. But if you're looking for the first one I showed you, which is just our normal plug and play amplifier, like this one, but for your car, these will be back in stock on Friday. Like you go order right now and we'll ship out on Friday. That's no problem. We keep these. We got plenty of these on the way. But these, I think, might even have to be special order, because that was the cheap one. That was the C, not the M. The M's even stronger. I think this one's 1,500. Yeah, here we go from Artisan. 1,600. But these are strong, small amps that pack a punch, will not put a strain on your factory system, will work really well. So it's going to be, I don't know. What, Alan, if it was up to you, which one would you rather have? Would you rather have the 8 by 90 and then you can stack 3 or 2 for your sub? So where's the configuration? Hold on, let's see the M. So you can do, you can bridge, so we can go in a 5 or a 6 channel config, and you can do 280 or 300 watts to a sub. So there's a lot of flexibility here. What's really good about these amps is, like, look at the power consumption at max level. It's 55 amps. That won't put a strain on your electrical system. So to do, what was it, 90 watts times 8, you don't need another battery. And the amps are really small, easy to integrate with. The wiring plugs right in. They're just solid amps. But I'd like to get your opinion, guys. What do you think? Would you spend 1,000 or 1,500 compared to the 300? It is. This one's advertised as 80 by 4. This is 90 by 8. Wait, no, this is a stronger one. It's 140 by, oh, because it's 2 ohms. It's 2 ohms. Yeah, okay, yeah. Let me close all these windows and get back to wiring. But yeah, I'd like to get your opinion on that. What do you think? What would be the most and the least you would spend on an amp if it's plug and play? And like the least would be like close to factory, a little bit upgrade. The most would be like shaking your windshield from the amount of bass. Hey, have you figured out what wiring to run a 9-inch Android screen for the third stop the humming? Um, no, I don't even. Mine doesn't hum, but it's because I have an aftermarket amp. But 9-inch Android screen noise, ground noise. Let's see what. Let's see what YouTube returns. See if anyone says this guy's. Okay, this guy added new RCA plugs. Um, here is here's Google's answer. Google's AI answer. It says, reground all audio components to a single point on the car chassis. Use a ground loop isolator between the head unit. Blah blah. Um, have you tried just regular a noise filter or a power filter? What does this guy have to say? Oh, he's doing car. He's doing home audio. We need car audio, sound digital. I'm trying to see if there's anyone who's actually soldered something for you. Like if there's a solder point on the board that you can reroute ground to. Cause like behind your Android screen is just this board. There's just different variations of this board. And that noise is being generated by one of these. So look, he's taking one apart, right? And then as you get further down, it's literally just this board. So I'm trying to figure out for you where it grounds. Like where's the audio ground for this board? Because then he'll flip it around. Hold on, he like took it out. And then he'll show you. Oh, he did that mad fast. The new one. But I'm trying to figure out if there's someone who knows enough to know. Yeah, this is the test point. To know enough where the grounds are. But you'd have to like trace stuff back. Yeah, no, I'm sorry, man. I don't have that info, and I could like I don't know enough to get it on my own, like to know where in the board it would be. But the general car audio solutions are ground loop isolators. They go on the RCAs. They should stop noise. Sometimes that doesn't work, so you need a power filter. Sometimes that doesn't work, so then you need to ground the RCAs or reground, or they might share a common ground. You'll need to ground them differently. Sometimes you can ground the factory amplifier, the radio to the same ground, and that'll take care of it. Those are your general solutions. Um, the other ones, you can do like a separate ground from the board to another piece of metal. But really, you want someone who works on these Android screens for repair or left and right who can tell you what is generating that noise and how to really fix it. Because all you're doing with all the other methods is just suppressing it. Well, I guess if you do the common ground, that's not suppression, but the other ones are noise suppression. So sorry, I don't have a good fix for you. For your website, I ran your speaker around. Sound comes on the passenger side until I go in balance settings. So you have the plug and play amp, but Sound only comes out on the passenger side up until I go in balance settings. So what do you mean? To summarize, what you're saying is when you just turn the volume up, only the passenger side makes noise. But then if you turn the volume up and then move all the sound to the driver's side, then the driver's side makes noise, or it never makes noise. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what you're looking for, man. That's very vague. What? So you have the bass. So I'm looking for something that's a little more power, but still using the factory system. So you can put different amps on the factory system, but like a little bit more power is very vague. I wish you would say, I want my doors to explode, because then I know which direction to go. But a little bit more power could be like, okay, then just grab the 5-channel amp. But then the 5-channel amp might be just a little bit too little. If you get what I'm saying, like it's not loud enough. So um, I think you should go with aftermarket amps and then set yourself up to easily be able to swap them out. So then you can like pick the exact level you want to land at. Because then you could do 2 amps, one for your bass, one for your voice. You could do a 4-channel and a mono block, or you could do a single amp. But I recommend 2 amps so that as you progress through this, you can change the amps out easily. Because like if you told me, hey, this is my daily driver, I just want a little bit more sound. I really want some punch. I want some bass. So I'm okay. Let's go with like a 5-channel amp from Pioneer. It really overperforms. It's going to sound really good. But from the vibes I'm picking up, I feel like within like 6 months, you're gonna be like, hey man, like it used to be really loud, but it's not as loud. But it's because you got used to it. So with a 5-channel amp, you have to rebuy another 5-channel amp. But if you do 2 amps, you do a 4-channel and then a mono, you can upgrade each one individually, and you're set up to easily swap amps to keep climbing the ladder. Because you'll start, like you'll be like, oh yeah, I think like 80 watts per door is good, and then you'll have that for 6 months. And you're like, you know what? I need a little louder. So you'll be like, you know what? I'm going to pick up this amp that says it's 120 by 4. And you're like, damn, but now my bass isn't loud enough. So then you upgrade your bass amp. And then you're like, damn, but now it's drowning out the voices again. So now you upgrade the voice amp. And then you start climbing the ladder until you're trying to put 500 watts in each door. So my recommendation, go completely aftermarket. You can keep the factory radio, but set yourself up so you can easily interchange amps, what am I saying? So then you're easily able to upgrade anything at any point. Because with the 5-channel amp, like once you do that upgrade, yeah, you can reuse the harnesses, but that amp can't get any louder. There's no upgrade you could do to that amp. So then you have to reinvest in a completely new amp. But 4 channels there's such a huge market for them. You could just buy them used, or you could sell yours right after you buy a new one, etc. All right, yeah, it only comes out when I change the driver's side, which is like saying 8 or 9, because the passenger side sound. All right, that's very strange. Let's see. Let's think here. So, sounds coming out of factory radio to the amp. You can manipulate the sound, and they'll start working on one side, but not the other. So, is it the amp or the radio? So you can manipulate the sound, but it won't come out of one side or the other. So it can be both. Okay, so here's what you're going to do. You're going to go to the amp. You're going to take the RCAs that are inside the amp, the 4 RCAs. You're going to disconnect them all. You're going to set your fader and balance to front left, max front left. So I think it's like +6 and +6, or +9 and +9, so that only the front left speaker should be making noise. You're going to take the front left RCA is white. You're going to plug it into channel 1. You should only hear the front left speaker. No, actually, okay, yeah, so follow that. So you're going to plug into channel 1. You should only hear the front left speaker. You're going to plug it into channel 2. You should only hear the front right speaker. You're going to plug it into channel 3. You should hear your rear door speaker and your rear deck speaker, and then channel 4, same thing. Then after that test concludes, that tells you that from the amp out, everything is working. So then we're going to switch the input from front left to front right. You're going to change the settings from being all the way to the left to the front to being all the way to the right to the front. And you're going to cycle through all four. So then you're going to go through all the way to the left and then all the way to the right and repeat the test. Basically, you want to verify the output of the factory radio is good on all four, and they should all power all the speakers. If at some point you have no audio, then it's most likely the factory radio, like because you're using the same RCA in each one. But if at some point it works on one side, so like let's say you're using the front left RCA on channel 1 and it works, but then in channel 2 it doesn't work, there's something going on past the amplifier or output of the amplifier side. But if channel 1, channel 2, channel 3, and channel 4 all have sound with the front left RCA, chances are the amp is good and something's going on with the radio. As you continue to test, you'll know. Yes, I will make a video on how to upgrade the speakers. I have that. That's my next video I'm going to make. Actually, my next video might be on this car, but this TSX speaker video is coming up. And I need to order my wife food. I keep forgetting about that. Let me do that right now. Actually, I'll do it from my phone. Damn, they really want you to buy alcohol and groceries on Uber Eats. It's like, no, this is the app I come to order food from in shame because I don't want to cook. I'm not going to order groceries through here. And what kind of fiend orders alcohol for deliver on Monday night? That's crazy. All right, let's switch these together. Do we add the sleeves? Yes, we did. Okay. Yeah, if it's not the radio, don't be discouraged. Then you have a warranty on your amp. We will swap your amp and get you one that works. But usually the amp doesn't fail in that way. The only way I've seen that amp fail is like complete no output at all. Usually it just, if it's going to fail, it fails all at once. And it's like a power thing. Like you'll get a blue light, but no audio on any channel. But I mean, that doesn't mean it can't fail the way you're describing. Babe, if you're watching the stream, I need you to answer my text message so I can figure out what to get you. No answer yet. Damn, maybe she fell asleep. Damn, she fell asleep hungry, bro. No way. I don't know if you can see my hands. Yeah, you can't see my hands. I'm doing the wiring, guys. I just, I'm not talking about it. Just gonna try and do it fast. Yeah, factory TSX radios do fail, and sound output is a way they fail. The other way is like they'll stay on forever, so they'll drain your battery. But sound, that channel not working is common, or like intermittent audio. I wouldn't say it's super common, but like you wouldn't be the first person or the second person or the third person that we have heard it happen to, or has reached out because it's happening to them. Oh, did my mic? Okay, no, my mic did that. Yeah, those Android screen boards look just like Chinese phones. It's crazy. I think it's literally like the same manufacturing process, honestly. Because like it's soldered on RAM, soldered on storage, the 4G chips, GPS antennas. It's like honestly just like making a phone. It just has an amplifier attached. Okay, cool. She answered. The chalupas. Wait, you didn't answer me. Do you want the chalupas? No, I didn't. Um, I never got to film it. So the 9-inch screen is still in the Acura tail behind me. Still has the same radio. It has that screen. I just never got to film that video. I did get to mess with the equalizer, but I don't like how it's manipulating audio. I also don't like that the way the equalizer works is it better manipulates the audio coming out of the speaker wires than the preamp output. I don't know why that is either. I think it's just a version that I had, but I wanted to compare it with another Android screen that I had, but I just haven't had the chance, man. Luckily, I've been blessed enough that orders have kept me busy enough where I don't have extra time, and then like I have a kid now, so that takes up any extra time that I have, plus the 2 dogs. So I haven't had as much time to spend on YouTube. But now that I have this garage here and I can pull cars in wherever, whenever, and I can work at night, I will be updating the videos. Like what I was planning to film a video on was how to run an aftermarket radio with that new 9-inch screen, because a lot of people have an aftermarket radio already, so they might want the screen just for CarPlay. So I wanted to show you how to do that. And that's what I was in the process of doing before, like basically, I guess my daughter was born, right? That's kind of what slowed me. I want to say slowed me down, but shifted my priorities. And then I was okay. I can't make YouTube videos right now. I gotta take care of this. And then like by the time I'm free, it would be this time, and then I can't make the video outside. But I'm going to. This is the start of a lot more content. The live streams are just step one to see how this all will work. And then YouTube videos are coming next, I promise. Just gotta keep grinding at these orders. Did she answer? Yeah, number 6. All right, cool. All right, babe, I got you one second. But yeah, it's been like 6 months since I released a video. I filmed a few videos that were trash that I did not release. They're just like filmed on my phone, looked terrible. I didn't have a script, so they're just all over the place. I did an unboxing and then another video on it was 2 unboxings. Wow, I couldn't believe I couldn't remember. I did 2 unboxing videos, but I was like, I don't even do unboxing videos on my channel, and these both suck, so I just skipped them. I think I have one. I just never I uploaded but didn't release it. Sorry if I'm looking down right now, guys. I am just finishing this harness. Also, I removed all member only content. I'm not gonna do that. If you want to be a member, I appreciate you supporting, and I will find something to provide value to you with. But I don't think member exclusive content works for this channel, just because like you need to see how to do stuff for this channel to be effective. That's what the channel is all about. It's for you to learn how to do stuff. So if I hide how to do stuff behind a paywall, it just feels scummy. So I might put other stuff, maybe like personal stuff. If you care to get to know me, maybe I'll do like Q&As or other stuff behind like the paywall. Or I don't even like the idea of a paywall. I don't know. Maybe what I will do is like just release the videos earlier to members. That's like something that I feel like has no negative impact. And then like you feel like you got something like a couple days earlier. But we'll see. But I got these all connected. Now I have to solder them all. And again, this is another Android harness. We just did this one. I explained how to do it. This is just one that I basically prepared behind the scenes. Yeah, like you got to think like who our watching base is people who already have, well, some already have aftermarket radios installed. So like to show them the 9-inch screen with the factory radio, they're like, bro, why did I buy this freaking double din then? So I don't want people to feel that way. So I was all right, how could I help those people? And I'm like, okay, I could just show them how to use that double din with this thing. Um, Especially if you have like a button radio, so a radio that doesn't have a screen, it'll really feel like a huge transformation. For some people, don't like double screens though, so I don't know. We'll see what kind of feedback we get. Oh crap! I forgot to connect that brown wire. Don't worry, babe. I'm gonna order. Actually, I'm gonna stop right now, babe, and order your food because it's getting later and colder, and I'm more hangry. So I'm doing it right now. I'll even get you those little mac and cheese things. Ooh, free with $20 purchase. Oh, I might get a little something too then. Where the hell are the meals, bro? Here we go, combos. Why is it all the way down here? Nacho bills on. Here we go, 2 chicken chalupas. What drink, girl? I'm gonna go with a Mountain Dew. Blast. Large Mountain Dew, baby. No, you know what? I'm gonna get her a Sprite. She'd rather have that. Chicken. Crunchy Taco Supreme. Nope, that's it. Then where's the little mac and cheese thingies? Oh, it's the potatoes, not mac and cheese. Sorry. How much is that? 18? Oh shit. Alright, so if I get her something else, then I can get free food. What was free? Sorry guys, just 1 second, just bear with me. I get a steak quesadilla or a chicken quesadilla? What do you say, chat? Chicken or steak? You know what? I'm gonna get her some Nacho Bel Grandes. Bro, where the hell are the nachos? There we go. Took forever. Okay. Now I can get a quesadilla. Chicken. Hot sauce. Just regular hot sauce, my guy. Where is it? Okay, all right, it's on the way. Sorry for that long ass order. What was I doing? Oh, this harness. Someone asked me something now. Do you have any plug and play door speakers? Yes. JBL speakers are plug and play, easiest to install, but Pioneer, Infinity also. For your base model, JBL I recommend. I'll show them to you in a second. Okay. So your 2009 Acura TSX speakers, they're gonna look like this. Let me go main screen. I'm gonna go to images. Is there an exact speaker set? You have a base model. Is there pictures on eBay? No. Okay. So this is the speaker set in your car. Oh, sorry, you have a base model, so it looks like this. So you have one woofer, four door woofers are all the same. Actually, four. It's two woofers, two deck speakers, two tweeters, and a sub. That's your base model audio system. So we have replacements for these right here. And then we have replacements for the tweeters. I'll show you the JBL speakers real quick. So those speaker sets, that's not the right one. Oh yeah, this is the right one. So those are JBL speakers. Here are the JBL speakers. Here are your factory speakers. So there's four matching woofers. Your back are coax, so they have the tweeters built in. There's two tweeters on the side, and then your sub. But you're not going to use the JBL sub. You want the kicker sub. But for front speakers, I'm going to just show you those real quick. So that's these. They're going to come woofer and tweeter separate, and then all these installation accessories. So the speaker ring to make installation easier, the tweeter harness, the tweeter cup, the speaker harness, all the screws and inserts. And then this is what it looks like before and after. And then here's the tweeter. And then here's installations. These are small, but basically once you get the door panel off, you're moving the speaker. You're pulling the speaker towards you and up. You're disconnecting the speaker. Then you're putting in the spacer, the inserts into each side. Then you're going to apply the foam gasket to the back of the speaker, attach the speaker to the door, and then connect the harness for the speaker, then screw down the speaker to the door. Pretty simple stuff, pretty self-explanatory. Then for your tweeter is a little bit more complex, but also pretty straightforward. You're going to pull the tweeter housing away from the door. It's just clipped in. You'll see the factory tweeter. You'll pinch the connector, disconnect it, pop out the tweeter, put the tweeter in the tweeter cup, add a little bit of foam to the tweeter cup, press the tweeter cup into the factory housing, connect the tweeter, and then put the tweeter back. And it's that simple. This is literally on a TSX door, so you can follow this step by step. To actually remove the door panel, I think there are instructions down here. One sec. No, I think it's the first line. It says if you're looking for, here we go. If you're looking on door panel remove videos, you can find them here. You click here, it brings you to this page. It tells you which ones. And then you would go 2009 to 14 TSX. It's going to open up a YouTube video. That's not our video, but it's a video we watched, and the guy did a good enough job where he didn't destroy his car. Like, he added tape to his screwdriver so he wouldn't screw up his interior. But we will be releasing a full video, but this will tell you how to get the door panel off. Once the door panel is off, you can follow our instructions for the speaker. But yeah, we do have plug and play speakers. Pretty easy to install. All right, I soldered all of these, so now I need to put the heat shrink over the soldered connections. The front door speakers, the same ones in the back. Yep. They're really nice speakers too from the factory, honestly. Oh, man. If you go to speaker sets, here, I'll put the link in the chat one sec. So if you go to speaker sets, it'll take you to all the speakers. I'll send you the link to the front speakers. Oh, what the hell? That was weird. So there you go. That's the link to the front speakers. And then from there, if you scroll down, you'll see if you're looking for installation or speaker. Here, I'll send you this link too, because this is how to actually, this has all the pictures and everything step by step. So you can zoom in on the pictures. There's a lot of information on our website that's like kind of hidden that will get picked up by Google, but like, as you can see, you didn't, like, average person wouldn't know where to find it. That's something we got to fix. But at least what happens is, like, someone sends a message or someone calls and they're like, hey, like, I'm trying to do this, but do you have any instructions? I could just send them the link, and then that will help them. That's really why we put those together. All right, let's get all our heat shrink in place and then apply some heat. What the freak? Oh, okay. It's just the AC. Yeah, I'm gonna show you a good ass deal on eBay. That I think should be taken advantage of if you need to save some money. I appreciate it if you would support. That would be really meaningful to me. But I understand that not everyone can support, and some people just are looking to get the best deal that they can. So on eBay, if you go to eBay and look up Honda Accord JBL speakers, we can grab all 4 speakers for $200, baby. Watch this. Bam! Don't be telling me I don't be hooking people up, bro. I'll be hooking y'all up. So this is 2008 to 22 Honda Accord, but this will work on your TSX. I just don't like the spacers they give you. The spacers they give you are flimsy and will break, but they will get the job done, and you do get the speaker harnesses, and you get a set of components and a set of coaxials, all for $200, baby. I don't know how the hell they're doing this. What they're selling these speakers for, I think, is what it cost me to buy them, because if you divide the price. So it's crazy that you can get this deal right now. I don't know how much longer you'll be able to get it, but this company is like humongous. So they sell all kinds of stuff. So I doubt you're going to get a warranty. Yeah, they just sell all kinds of shit. Where are they located? They're a huge eBay store. So like they get huge discounts on some of this stuff because they're buying such big volumes. So not a bad deal. The only thing is you still need tweeter harnesses and tweeter cups. So like if I go back to our speakers, you're still missing these guys right here. So you don't have the tweeter cups or the tweeter harnesses, which will make your installation a little bit more complex, but not impossible. You could probably get away with doing it that way. But yeah, I just do not like the spacer they give you. But you can make it work. It'll work. It'll hold on. But yeah, this is a great deal. So if you are in a tight spot, you need some new speakers, I think that's a great deal. I wish we could match it. I wish I could tell you like, oh yeah, I can match that, but I cannot. We're not a huge eBay store like that. Basically, what they're selling them for is what I buy the speakers for. I would make no money. It'd make no sense to sell anything. But if you need that deal, eBay's got it. Your car, I'm trying to think what else this will work for. Yeah, Acura TSX is the big winner. 04 to 08 Acura TSX, though, this won't work. They need spatial spacers. 04 to Acura TL, this won't work. You need the special spacers. It's just 09 to 04, 09 to 13 and 14 TSX and TL do benefit from this. Okay. So I should twist this further. All right, I'm just getting this harness set up. Almost done with it. Okay, let's add a little bit of tape right here. And then now we'll add our Tessa tape. All this Tessa tape is for protection and to make it look better. So like when you finally get it, it looks like a finished product. Otherwise, you might just get like a bunch of wires and you're like, what the hell did this guy send me? Hey, let's go, babe. The guy's on the way already. He said it should be here at 11:57. He's 6 minutes away. No. If your factory system is bumping on the base model TSX, that Pioneer system's so good that I don't know if the upgrade will make such a significant difference. Like getting new speakers, as long as yours aren't shot, I don't know if it's worth it. But 9 out of 10 times, your front speakers are shot. So Acura won't lower the bass on your front speakers. They'll almost like boost it. But on your rear speakers, they do lower it. So like normally your back speakers are perfectly fine, but your front speakers will be blown or have some damage. So upgrading your front speakers when that's the case is like a huge win. But if your speakers are completely fine, like you pulled off the door panel and verified, I don't know if it's necessarily worth the upgrade if you're not going to do the plug and play amp or something else. Just because the factory Pioneer system sounds really good in that car. But on the ELS system, I do recommend the speaker upgrade. They have different speakers, and I don't know if they're lower quality speakers or what it turns out to be, but the JBLs do sound better. I just got to make sure I'm watching the camera when this guy comes. All right, let me put the camera over here so I don't miss it. Someone just answered a text message. Okay, this is rear. I'm trying to think what I would do to upgrade. Oh, you know what I hear a lot that might be an upgrade that you can do without even noticing is instead of streaming Bluetooth, connect your phone via USB input for audio connection or audio streaming. And people say that that sounds so much better and richer and fuller than anything else. So try that. I know there's one guy who was like it's a night and day difference how the audio used to sound when he had that compared to when he installed an aftermarket radio and was streaming Bluetooth. He was upset that the quality wasn't the same. So that's something for you to try at home is hook up via USB. You might always just do it via Bluetooth. But if you do it via USB, you might get that little bit of a boost you didn't know you could get. All right. I think this harness is... Oh, no. You know what? I knew something looked off. I didn't zip tie this. But my line out converter is in place. All my harnesses are connected. Steering wheel controls will work. Everything will work. Let's ship this baby. The plug and play amp connects where the factory amp is. I have a little video. I'll show you one second. We can look at it together. But I'm going to have to step out real quick in about 2 minutes because the Taco Bells will be here. And I need to make sure I get to the guy before he gets to the house. Otherwise, the dogs are going to bark. And then if they bark, they might wake up the baby. So I got to watch the cameras. Make sure that doesn't happen. But I will show you how it works in 1 second. We did a video. It has a very small portion. Where is this one going? This one's going to North Carolina, so this guy will have it on Wednesday as well. Nice. Come on, get off of there. There we go. Is that him? No, it's somebody right away. Just ordered the T-Harness LLC. Nice. For what car? I didn't get no notification. Yeah, I didn't get no email or nothing of that. So hold on. Is that him? He should be coming. I don't see him though. Okay, I see the car. All right, guys, I'll be right back. Just gonna go outside real quick. Yeah, I think it's a crap for drink. Oh, almost right now. Good. Oh, babe, you're not gonna want this drink. I'm sorry. I thought they would add something to it. He didn't put the straw in it, but like you don't know if he drank from it. He don't look like the type, but you just don't know. So I'm sorry. What do you want me to do with it? Bring it to you or what? Oh, what's that, little doggos? Y'all know I got food. Okay. All right. So now to the plug and play amp we go. I can move this. YouTube, Acura TSX amplifier install. Oh, look, this guy did a install on his car. Did he use the amp bypass or did he use an aftermarket radio? I just think he just ran an aftermarket radio, looks like. Yeah, it doesn't show it. Props to you, my guy. Sorry, guys, I'm looking for the video. I cannot find it. How long is that video? 12 minutes. Wow. Okay. Okay. All right. So, Kevin, I'll get to your answer to answer your question in a second. Alan, here's how it installs. So here we are in the trunk of your TSX. I'll move this over a little. Okay. Here, this is the trunk of your TSX. We took the liner off on the right side. We're gonna take the two connections out of the amp. So these are two connections on the amp. Here's connection one. And then here's connection two. You just pull down on the trigger to pull them out. So then here's connection two. Then we're going to take our harness. This is the plug and play amp harness. It's going to match up to that connector. And then it's going to match up to the other connector. Then you're going to plug in to the amp, one side there. that's all set for you. Then you're going to plug in the other side over here. That's your sub. Those are your speakers. And then the last one's power. And then the only thing I don't do is mount the amp. But it has 4 screws, and I think I put it against there so you could see where you could possibly mount it. Yeah, so you could tuck it behind where the factory amp is, or you can mount it up here with the 2 screws. It's up to you, but that's how the 5-channel plug-and-play amp will work. Now, Kevin said, what amp do you suggest 1500 watt sub? Can you give me the model number of the sub so we can match exactly which amp it is? And then give me 1 second, I'm going to give my wife her food. Why is it doing that? Let me just go back to me. Just a desk. Yeah. Oh, little goggles. All right, guys. I did not want to eat on stream, but I'm still streaming. I should have been off by now, so I'm gonna answer questions. You might hear me chewing. What about the bass knob? You could just use the factory bass control. You don't have to run the bass knob. You can if you want to, if you want the physical knob, but you can use the factory control. And then Kevin, you still haven't told us what sub it is. You're still gonna move the microphone for me. You move it a little further so you don't hear me chew. That's kind of weird. I hate when I listen to a podcast and the guy's eating. Like, bro, you couldn't eat after. So I'm not gonna do it to y'all. Cause like, look, the reason why I want to know, Kevin, the reason why I want to know is because there's so many that are advertised as 1500 watts, but they're not really 1500 watts. I hate that all the ones that popped out are really 1500 watts, but like, here's a good one. Right. AutoZone claiming this sub is 3000 watts. It's trash. RMS is probably like 300 watts. RMS is 750. That's not bad actually. I thought I was gonna get the clown on them. No way. No way this voice core was handling 750 though. That's completely overrated. Yeah, exactly. No way. This car sub isn't even 1500 watts. What's RMS power? 1000. It's close though. Props to them. It's close enough, but everyone's gonna do that. Everyone's gonna say 1500 watts. And then when you go, it's like, well, it's not really 1500 watts. This one might be actually true 1500 watts. Yeah, 13.5 continuous power handling is 1500. But like, look at the size of that magnet. Like, that's why I can handle 1500. But you saw that little boss up 715? No way, bro. Okay, American Base is pretty good with their stuff. So this might be half power rating or it might be full power rating. We'll see. SFL 1204. Where's their SKUs? Why can't I scroll down? How did you get me the model number, but I can't find it? I'm not that dumb. It definitely was not on there. Alright, sometimes the part numbers will be down here. SFL 1244 is what you said, right? Yeah, okay. So there's a big boy right here. This will make the power that it says it's gonna make. True 1500 watt RMS. Damn, son. 1500 watts RMS ain't no joke. So my first thought process is Taramps 3000 because it's cheap and there's a sub one now. Taramps base 3K 1 ohm, baby. That's my first thought because that's usually what people will buy because it's cheap. But I think it's hilarious. That's not the meme I'm looking for, though. There's one about Taramps always catching fire. This is the one I was looking for. But that's what I think of. But really, the next level up I think of is a Sound Digital 3000.1. Still Brazilian, but really good amp.
Just wanted to give you
Really
guys
good
kind
power
of a real
handling, like efficient power handling. What does it actually hit on the dyno? $3,400. That's not bad. God damn. 460 amps is crazy. Alright, what does American Base have? They have to have an amp that matches. I don't know enough about American Base to say like, oh yeah, this is the amp or no or something. God damn, bro. No wonder people buy Taramps instead. This thing's $700. What's the power output? Damn, their website is just as broken as ours.
Good store though. I mean, I hear good things about American Base, but I can't click specifications, which is kind of annoying. But it does say 3,000 watts RMS at 1 ohm. I know I'm showing you 3,000 watt amps, and you're like, bro, I only have 1,500 watts RMS. Oh, damn. I'm sorry, man. I didn't even see your message. You said not that one. It was the one with the white. All right, hold on. Sorry, I got carried away there. So, not this one. It was this one. What's a 1,000 watts RMS? Good luck with the ELD, bro. Um, turn on your AC and just be in the cold. Oh, okay. All right. So then turn on your. You could put. You need a load, so you could get a dummy load to put in your electrical system. Uh, Hold on, Ken. We're gonna switch real quick because maybe this guy hasn't seen this. ELD bypass. .eu. Um, okay. So in here is literally someone who wired one and made his own. Which I don't know if you've seen this yet, but what I'm looking for is someone who actually did the research onto what um, where the hell is the that's just a forum post. There's someone who actually explains to you how it works. I just can't seem to find it. I've never attempted to do this myself. Where's the link? Where's the link of the actual guy? I thought it was in this post that someone posted to it. Oh, look, this guy said he's selling some. But I'm trying to find you the article of someone who actually did the research and explained how it works. And it was from a university. I can't find it. It's really pissed me off. That's fucking whack. Bruh. Here we go. Here's what I was trying to find for you. Jeez, bro. I knew it was out there. I knew it was out there. I just couldn't find Oh yeah, then you probably know more than me, man. But this guy actually explains how it works. Um, like he actually looked it up, and then what car was it for? 2016 TLX.
I'm gonna put my mic now that I'm done eating. Let's see what ELD looks like. I have no idea what we're talking about. I know what the ELD technically is, but what does it look like? Okay. Remove the underhood fuse relay. Remove the release the two lock tabs, and I'll take not to care what that hurts. No problem. I love you. Okay. Remove the fuses. Wire harness. Release the two lock tabs. Carefully remove the ELD C with the bus bar D, and then disconnect the ELD E. Okay. The ELD C. So what the hell is C? So the ELD looks like a little. I don't even know. All right, hold on. Let me just look that up real quick. 2015 Acura TLX ELD. Says actual black box. Okay. Hold on. I want to see what troubleshooting procedures are. PCM, electric. That's a great question. The USA. Does your car have navigation? Oh. Ruthless. Does your car have navigation? I'm gonna go with it does. And is it two-wheel drive or four-wheel drive? In the meantime, while you answer, Kevin said search. Okay. Sorry, Kevin. I'm kind of dumb. Factory nav, two-wheel drive, or is it AWS, AWDSH? That's what they like to call it. Two-wheel drive. Okay. TLX two-wheel drive, automatic, advanced TLX Tech. This has TLX Tech, navigation. Why are these different? UB2 or UB1? All right, they're probably gonna be the same electrically. God damn, bruh. All right. Have you been able to look at one of these before? I feel like this might have some insight into what you're trying to do. So right now it looks crazy, but I'll walk you through what you're looking for. So we need to go into E. I don't even see it in here. PCM subsystem. PCM subsystem, PCM all. Is it in here? No, it's not even in there. Okay. All right, the ELD definitely had a connector. It said to disconnect it. I thought it would come up under components, but it's not here. So we're gonna have to zoom the hell in and search like retards. Diode, micro, MICU, relay, evap, active control, ACM, relay. What the hell is this thing? Throttle body. This thing's really long. APP sensor, knock sensor, rocker arm, oil pressure, CA key, CMP sensor, MAF sensor, ECT sensor, EVAP, transmission control module, EVAP. I can't search. What is this? Center. That doesn't help me. What is this? Show all. Yeah, that doesn't help me either. Bruh, if you go outside and bark, I'm gonna beat your ass. Sorry, the dogs need to go outside. Um, all right, hold on. Let me minimize this real quick and go back to the ELD. And then disconnect the ELD connector E. Yeah, you have, there is an ELD connector. Okay, all right, so hopefully we can find something together. Let me just pull that page back up. I just gotta find it myself. It's just freaking huge, and I wish the ELD would just come up in the component list. But rocker arm, reverse relay control module, radiator fan, PCM, ignition coil, knock sensor, map sensor, fuel tank. Thing is, I can't print this for you to get it. The only way you could get this is if you buy the software. This is like fully interactive. I can print it once we find it, but I can't print this entire thing because it will look terrible. Okay, so that's the PCM that's flashing right there. So let's look at the connector. Oh, I forgot there's a engine component view. Okay. ERG, electric energy management system, electric parking brake. Wow, what's energy? Okay, let's see if this diagram has anything, because this has to do with energy management. That's the PCM, can high, can low. Yeah, we expected that. All right, so it's coming out of the alternator, B50. What else is here? Ignition pulse, this all. Okay, what the hell is this thing? Gauge control module, junction box, under dash fuse relay, under hood dash fuse relay, interior light circuit. We're getting close. I'm just not sure where the hell to look, man. I haven't messed with these. If I look at this for an hour, I can figure it out, but like on stream, I don't know enough where to look. But under hood fuse relay box is where it should be. Can I? Oh, wait, charging system. Oh my god, bro. You hear this guy? Get your ass inside then. Hurry up. Where's Bacon? Bacon, hurry up, bro. Bacon, hurry up. Come on. Bro, this guy's gonna come scratching this. Watch. Right when we were getting close. Active control engine ACM. No, that's not what we're looking for. Under hood fuse relay box, under dash fuse relay box. Gauge control module. What is this thing? PCM. Voltage regulator. That's our alternator. So shouldn't we have a line from here to? Okay, what the hell is on this connector? It's just one big black connector. All right, that doesn't help us. That's the sensor, cable reel. All right, guys, I'm gonna check the chat in case I'm missing something you guys can see. I called and they said they could do it. So did they do it or you never went? Junction box, under dash, big ignition, MICU, and then there's. Nah, we gotta be over here somewhere. So one of these connectors. Okay, here we go. Ignition main. What do you think they would have called it? have no idea. SDRD, high low, audio amp, horn, hazard, high low, high low, high low, main relay out, AGC. Yeah, I don't know enough about these abbreviations. All right, hold on. I have one more secret weapon that we can try. If we go to Pro Demand, we log into Pro Demand, we go 2015, Acura TLX, it's a base. Oh, wait, I didn't ask you what engine it was, but we will see. ELD, if it comes up anyways. Electric locking differential, that's not what we're looking for. Okay. Yeah, we don't care about power series raw. All right. What about remove and replace? Is it the same? No, it just has generic instructions. Okay, that's not what we care about. This is what I came to see. So it's part of the charging circuit. So junction box, battery. Battery sensor, data computer line starting circuit. DC to DC converter, gauge control module, junction box, PCM, rear of engine, alternator. All right, so if we think about this logically, what is this white wire? ELD, let's go. Okay, so the ELD has fuse 13 behind it, and then it goes to ground, and then it has a pin to the PCM. What's this white wire called? And it's pin A36. All right, so this doesn't have a connector view. Okay, so now we're going back to the other one, PCM pin 36. So where was the PCM on here? That was the PCMs right here. And we want to see the connector view. Actually, I could just go back to PCM all. PCM, go home, you motherfucker. And then, why do I not get the connector view? Okay. So we got to find pin 36 manually. That says 38. Come on. Right? That says 38. All right, sorry about that. I don't know how long I've been without a mic. Time to find Reddit that said that you can to do it. Yeah. So that ELD A36, I was trying to. You know what? There might be a troubleshooting procedure. One sec. Uh, yeah, nothing mentions that. Um, okay, what about generic overview? So there's a LIN bus. LIN is one wire. Come on. I thought LIN had to be two wires. One sec. LIN. Hold on, did my mic die again? No, it's working okay. LIN CAN bus. LIN is local single wire. Oh, okay. So it is single wire. Okay, so you are fucked. Is the way I would say it. You, my friend, are fucked. What's an alternator overhaul? Oh, to repair one. Drive belt, drive belt, drive belt, drive belt. What about this? So pulley inspection. Yeah, don't care for that. So this wire, we can't find a good explanation of what it does. But we could find a good explanation, we could get it to do what we want it to do. Or you could sniff this. So I think your best bet is to look at this wire. So this LIN, LIN, is serial communication, um, which will look like this. You don't have like a. You don't have a. Oh, okay. This is the OSI model. Transmission, what is it? Ground one? Or pull up resistor, okay. LIN signaling enables a bitwise communication by switching a single wire LIN goes from high to zero. Okay. Yeah, just like serial communication. So, you need someone. Sorry, wrong camera. This isn't impossible, but without knowing what's happening on that ELD line, you need to meter it. Back in the day, I showed you that study. It was like getting pulled. The voltage was getting pulled down. It was a reference voltage. You need to meter that and see if that's the case. If that's still the case, then you can pull that voltage down yourself. If that's not the case, then you need to interrupt the LIN communication between the voltage regulator and the alternator. What was it? Where? Hold on, let me pull that diagram again. Where was that diagram? And then the LIN communication is between, yeah, the voltage regulator on the alternator. And basically what you're going to do is you're going to feed it false info. So whatever the message looks like when you're hold on. Okay. So whatever the message looks like when your alternator is supposed to put out max voltage, you need to sniff that. You'll sniff it, you'll see what that message looks like. Then whenever you want to turn up your system, or if you just want to keep that same message on loop for forever, I don't know if that's good though, because it might damage your alternator. But let's say you're driving, you know you're going to be playing your bass heavy, you repeat that message for that amount of time. It's a single wire, very basic message. Like if you work with a electrical engineer near you, you guys can figure this out. It's just a matter of spending the time to do it. And then that way, since you're feeding factory messaging to the factory voltage regulator and it's doing its job, I doubt it's going to turn on any lights because it's working just how it's supposed to. There might be some sort of check or internal thing where if the same message is sent for a million times, it might trigger an error. But again, if you're only doing it while you're driving, I don't see why the car would think you're not just the normal message that's supposed to get through. But I think that's the easiest way to interrupt it is to basically it's it's like the new CAN bus. It's called a LIN bus. Hold on, there's like a lot of noise outside. Something's going on. All these people are leaving. Okay, so that LIN bus communication, you could pretty much. I think I could reverse engineer it if you had the if you gave me your TLX for a month, I could figure it out, but it would take me a month. But if you worked with an actual engineer, it might take them 2 or 3 hours to do it. So, but it's possible. But now I see why you haven't been able to do it. It's not something that um, has a simple thing. I wonder if the other Hondas and Acuras are this way, or how other people's bypasses work. But all right, let me close all this shit because I've been on the hunt for too long. Um, okay. All right, back to my man Kevin here. If he's been holding on, Kevin, I appreciate you because we went on a whole tangent. I didn't even tell you what. I mean, I gave you some options, but they weren't real suggestions. So American base, Altitude 2000. Okay. So I found it on Walmart. Is this the right one? No, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, the way I'm describing would be like you're just tricking the factory system to do what you want to do, not like a manual bypass where like some wires left disconnected or you are hacking something. It'd be like a factory thing, which I think it'd be really if you figured that out, it'd be awesome. You could sell it. But Kevin, let me show you my screen. This is what this is the one, right? This has to be the one. It says XFL 2000 watts, baby. 1,000 watts RMS. Okay, 1,000 watts RMS. Then you could probably get away with a Taramps 3000. No, I'm just kidding. They're gonna blow that stuff up. But they do have a 1200. But I don't know if you want to go that way. If you're gonna go with you get a CXA 800.1 on the marketplace used for pretty cheap. Like, look, here's one for $80. Oh, it says not working though. Never mind. Wow, I closed the wrong tab. So that's not gonna work, right? But sorry, CXA 800.1. You're like, yo, that's 800 watts, not 1,000. Yeah, but it gets very close. If you look in the boxes, a lot of times they do overrated power. Like here, let's look at the dyno real quick. So 865 watts. What is that though? All right, so that was 1.1 ohms. I guess this is a burp. So I mean, for the price that you can get one used, I think it's a good deal. Let's see if Facebook has one near us. Dumpster diving, baby. Power acoustic kicker. This is not a bad deal right here at 1200.1. That's going to be my next recommendation. Here's one. So I'm saying for 150, you talk this guy down to 100. That's a deal right there. But all right, let's say you're going new. Right? So American base got to have a matching 1,000-watt subwoofer. Scar is going to have a matching amplifier that's 1,000 watts. Everyone has 1,000-watt amp. Yeah, see, this is doing 1,000 watts at 1 ohm. Let's see what Amazon has to offer. With the sub you got, you really have unlimited options, man. I don't want to try to sway you one way or another. You could stick American base and go all American base. Like I said, Scar is going to have some. I was just trying to see if there's anything. Taramps, of course. What does these Alpine amp put out? That'd be 600 watts RMS. CT Sounds has good stuff. This makes 1,000 watts. Is 1,000 watts RMS. Like for 150, you can't go wrong, man. I'm trying to think. HD 2000. How much is this? 163. Yeah. All right, Kevin. What kind of people you be rolling with, or who you showing off the system to? Because if it's just for you, then I would go with the most reliable amplifier I can find, which, believe it or not, is going to be that Kicker CXA 800.1, because that's what I know. Like, I know those amps are super reliable. I know you won't have a problem. But you don't know that. But I know that. So that's what I would pick. But if I was you, sometimes you get bass so you could show your boys. You're like, yo, watch this. Watch this bass. Watch this drop right now. And if that's the case, then you want to pick the amp that they aren't going to hit you with the, oh, but you should have got a Taramps. Oh, but you should have got a, because you could just tell them to shut the hell up. Not that you got to pick by them, but I'm just saying sometimes that really influences people's decisions, because a lot of people are like, oh, I want to be heard outside the car. That influences people's decisions as well. But at the subwoofer level you have, there's so many amps you can use. It's really up to you how much money and what kind of brand recognition you want. And do you want brand recognition, or do you want like superior product, or what? Because like Audison has a mono block that does 1,000 watts RMS. It'll put the least electrical. It'll put the least amount of stress on your system. Audison 500.1, I think it is. Yeah. So Audison has this little guy right here. It's $450 though, paying a pretty penny for it. But it will do 1,000 watts at 1 ohm, and it will probably do more than 1,000 watts at 1 ohm. But if we go back to Amazon, monoblock amplifier, I don't think you can go wrong with this CT Sounds amp right here. Just because CT Sounds is known to do their rated power, and I bet you they probably have a dyno already. I was about to say.
Design. So here's over on this side. Start out at 1 ohm.
Yep.
1,100 watts into 1 ohm at 14.43
There you go, right there.
Here we go.
Easy, simple, easy peasy choice. CT Sounds. You can do the research on the brand. You get it right on Amazon. Don't even need to make an account anywhere. And the amp's going to perform the way you want it to. I'm sure American Bass has an option as well. The only reason I would choose like an Audison or a different brand over this is because some amps are more less strenuous on your system. So does this tell us how many amps? No, it doesn't tell me how many amps it drew. But you care about the amperage drawn because you're going to put a strain on your factory electrical system. So just be careful. I think with 1,000 watts, you might have like a little bit of lights dimming or something, but nothing you can't deal with. But if you want a more efficient amp, you're going to pay more for it. But all right, guys, I am jumping off the stream. I will see you guys tomorrow around 1 or so. Just clean my work area. This desk gets messy, man. I shouldn't have been on this long. I stopped working a while ago when I should have been working. I just got way into research mode with that guy's car. So yeah, I think go look up a Lin reverse engineer, and then he'll be like, okay, hook this up to your car, and then he'll sniff out the data, and then you guys can do it. if I want to buy a TLX, and when I do, if it's still an issue, I'll check it out for you. I wonder though. No, I'm pretty sure that's where it started, because I don't think the older Acuras are like that. Like, I don't think the TSX has LIN communication. It's like a newer standard. Sorry, I'm just cleaning the desk. This little drawer gets filled with shit. Let's see if we can find someone real quick. Look, this guy already did it with a Honda Accord. Look, I'm gonna show you this. One second. So this is on a Honda Accord. He reversed the LIN bus. He sniffed the data, and this is kind of what it would look like. And here's the serial information when it's not properly shown. So then he started breaking it down. Then he started deciphering the data, and here he found what everything means. And this is what you're going to do too, or what your engineer would do for you. He'll write you some code. He'll ship you one of these things, and you'll plug it in, and then you'll never have voltage issues again. You just need to find the right engineer who can do this, and they are rare. But totally possible to reverse that. And if you find this guy or hire this guy, he already will probably do it pretty fast, because Honda likes to use the same set of protocols throughout their cars. So like the Acura might be the exact same or very similar to this. If you hit the XM button and it's not going into XM, your XM tuner might not be responding. So it's like a CAN bus thing, or a GA net bus, which is a CAN bus. But basically, when you hit the button, it's supposed to respond, and if it doesn't respond, then it will assume it's not there and not allow you to switch. So you need to get it to answer. The reason it may not be answering could be just the module's bad, or a couple different things. That's really hard to say. But that's why I won't let you switch to XM. It needs confirmation. Okay. But all right, guys, have a good night. I will see y'all tomorrow. Remember, lunch stream. You're at work. You can pull it up on your phone, or you could just watch it later. It will get recorded and posted. But have a good night, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, cool. That's clean enough. All right, let me clean this here. Actually, you know what? You just LIN ELD bypass. LIN bus. No, I don't see anyone who has tried to come up with a solution. So if one of y'all does it, be all. Yeah, man, I wish I had more info for you. In some cars, it does have a fuse, and a lot of them it doesn't. It just uses the same fuse everything else uses. If your car doesn't even, if your car was not made for USA market, it may not even have the XM tuner in it. Without the XM tuner, you'll never be able to get into XM, obviously. If it worked before but doesn't work now, I could have just died. That's super rare though. I've never seen one die, but maybe one of the connections messed up, maybe got wet or something. Um, they do put them in a lot of weird places. You're like, didn't this guy say goodnight? Yeah, I'm just cleaning this work area. I like to clean at night, so when I come in the morning, it's nice and clean. I can just get started with work. Oh, I didn't drink that. That's okay. All right. Okay. Well, let me put this mic to charge because it's dying. But YouTube, good night. See y'all tomorrow.